Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As you can hopefully see, it's a really cold day. We're in -5 conditions, and I thought this would be a good time to highlight how the Brompton does in winter conditions. It's the first cycle I've done in a long time that is proper chilly, and the reason it's so cold is because we're currently up in Scotland. Cycling in winter is always a challenge. You don't want to get out your bed, you don't want to have to put your layers on, and trust me, the thought of constantly doing this, I've almost backed out making this video about 4 to 5 times, but I thought as soon as I get going I should be okay. And I'm not in Scotland all the time, nor am I in Fort William all the time, so I wanted to take advantage of the absolutely stunning scenery and the very obvious winter conditions that we're in. Where else do you get views like that? Absolutely stunning. Thank you. I think one of the hardest things about winter cycling is deciding your layering system. It's only natural to want to leave the house with absolutely everything on, because as I say, today it's -5. I didn't even want to get out the car when I got here. But for me, obviously, all your layering starts at your core, and a good a good long sleeve base layer goes an absolute long way. Some of the cold ones actually have vented panelling on them also, and I find them really useful and very effective. For this cycle today, I've went with a base layer and I've went with some thermal long johns to keep myself toasty. I don't normally cycle in -5 conditions, but I'm sure some of you do out there. But below that, I do still also have my bib shorts on because it's a fairly long little cycle today, so I want as much comfort as possible. On top of that, I have this lovely Le Col Pro jacket. I would always say, with a base layer, I know this jacket does really well down at 0 degrees, so I've got all the hope in the world it'll be fine at -5. But it doesn't feel great when you first come out. It really does take a good 10 to 15 minutes to be like, oh, I've got the right level of wear on today. My biggest thing I need for winter out of anything is to keep my ears covered. For some reason I really suffer with really cold ears, and it's the one thing I hate. I can manage my hands getting cold and all that, but my ears, whew, that's a big ask. For today I've also got the neck gilet on, just a little bit of fleece to just keep that off my neck there, and some proper deep winter gloves from a company called Kit. These are what I kind of use for making snowballs, throwing them at the kids and all that type of stuff, but the wind resistant, windproof, whatever they want to call the technology. And they work really well. So I'm about 15 minutes into my cycle, and I'm actually feeling really good temperature wise. I'm almost like, what was all the fuss about starting? But we've all been there and we can all relate to that. But it is just amazing, the transformation of the landscape that the cold weather brings. And in Cardiff, it doesn't actually get this cold, and I'm probably grateful for that. But it's like anything, the more you do it... Oh, here we go, wee cattle grid. Icy cattle grid, nice. So, we are heading out of Fort William now. And this road, if we were to keep following it, would take us all the way down to a lovely little place called Mallaig. Yeah, some of the best seafood in the world there, in my opinion. But we will be stopping off today at Glenfinnan, But what makes these rides, especially when it's not a commute, hard to warrant, is that these places over winter, they pretty much lock down. So it's pretty difficult to have your planned coffee stop, have food, or have refreshments on the way, because these places are just so out there. It makes those little leisure cycles and the things you do to make them fun non-existent. So there is supposedly a little coffee place that's open till 5. So my plan is get to Glenfinnan and get myself a nice hot cup of something, and that's what's keeping my mind going. But if I get there and it's closed, it really doesn't do good stuff for your morale at all. So on the drive up to Fort William, you drive through lots of different mountains, you weave in and out them. And one of my personal favourite mountains, just aesthetically, and I've been up it a good couple of times, is called the Buckle. And on the drive up, we just had to pull over because we were in sort of mist and fog a good way, and then we peeked out it, and then just super clear skies was the Buckle in sunlight, like nothing was going on this time of year. But just down to the right of it was super low clouds, and it just looked like something out of a movie. And it's those moments that you only really get in winter. It's these type of days that I really appreciate what Brompton does. The fact you can pack this little bike in a car and then just take a leisurely hour to 2 hour stroll on your bike and bring it back, no dramas. It just really lets you escape. Gives your mind that little bit of clarity and your body to take it all in. Just magical, absolutely magical. I'm sure the majority of people that pass me in their car would probably call me bonkers, but that's okay, that's okay. Now my friend Brad, who I'm cycling all this way to see, / driving, is a really good cook and there's a lot of great fish food. So I'm hoping that tonight he may have a treat on for us. Not going to get my heart set on it, but every time I've been before, he's just cooked food to die for. So if my heart is shot down and the cafe's closed, I'm hoping Brad doesn't shoot me down also. But if he does, we'll just go to Mulligan into one of those amazing seafood restaurants. So I hope you've also enjoyed my interview with Ben. It was amazing for times to align, and this time for him to have some time to accommodate us coming in to ask some questions. Obviously a lot of my content is driven by you guys. So if there is anything that you want covered, I'll definitely do my best to get that out of the way. And I do like that format of speaking to and chatting with people that are just influential, or really passionate about Bromptons. Like, I think we can all agree, like, just putting it on as a podcast and listening is sometimes just a nice thing to do. So if anyone feels they're passionate, wants to set something up, just drop me something in the comments and I'll see if we can make it work on that side there. So again, just thanks for the input. I've learned so much already and already came up with some great ideas that I want to continue to do. If this was my commute road to work, I wouldn't complain. Come -5, -10, probably complain at -15. But oh wow, look at that. Just wow. Couple more mountainous landscapes opening up. Nice to have a little break from the trees. Don't think the camera will pick it up, but to my left I have the sun setting and I've got the moon just above it. Looks phenomenal. I think what I can note from this, and it's interesting to take into sportives, that with the current setup, my cruising speed's around 24k, which is what I thought, 24, 25. Top speed, probably around 32k with a pedal. But that lets me map out some good averages across, but this is a relatively flat area, so I typically go for the stuff that's, as we all know. So by no means would I say this is a race, but my friend Kevin drove up Fort William Way, and I told him that I'll cycle, me at Glenfinnan, and he's away to put some posters up to promote his film Winter 282. And he says, what pace do you go at? And I for some reason said, oh, I think about 28k, which was probably a bit overshooting it. He said, 28k? I said, yeah. He said, you'll be in Glenfinnan before me then. So I'm kind of curious now, who's going to get to Glenfinnan first? Is it going to take Kevin longer to do his movie posters and meet me here? Or can I actually sneak it and win that race to get the coffee? I said, by no means it's a race, but I see I've got 8.1k to go, and I've not seen him yet, so I'm like, I think I might be in with a shot here. It's that light energy I need to keep that pace now up at 25k. Oh, look at those ducks. Wow. Wowzers. I kind of want to stop to get a nice picture and a bit of talking to the camera, but now with the thought I might beat Kev there, I'm like, let's not take the risk. Plus, I'm sure this camera captures all its beauty. Oh, now we're popping back into winter here. Look at these trees in front of me. Wow. The amount of small landscape shifts here. Exactly what I was hoping for. Wow. And as I say, with the sun gone, you've got the low fog just dangling above. The trees glistening. This is a winter cycle, and this scenery is just showing it perfectly. Oh, I'm feeling major wind chill on the face here. The trees scream it. There's a little wind trap. It's intense, but hopefully short-lived. We're coming up to the end, about 2 hours deep, and it just looks like we've entered the heart of winter. I'm going to do my wrap-up speech here, but I really hope that this has inspired you to grab the bike even in these colder months and just take all of this in. It truly is magnificent. I'm not saying do it every day, but just go experience it. I mean, how fun on a little bike to just come see this winter wonderland. Unbelievable. And it shows you it's not snowed here, it just shows you how bitterly cold it is. Like all the stuff in the trees is just, as that sign says, ice. It's not snow, it's just so cold, it's all iced up. And I can feel it, not in my core luckily, just in my feet. But yeah, so yeah, go grab your layers, not too many, go out for a cycle, and as always, thanks for watching, but I will finish the video with a cut after this to see who wins the race to Glenfinnan.
So we managed to beat Kev here. I know it wasn't a race for him, but for me it gave me the power and edge to continue. Got myself a nice hot drink and the last sausage roll. Little man's all packed up. Christmas spirit and I'll just wait here to watch Kevin stroll in. I've no idea how far away is he, because there'll be like a light out. You never know. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see Kevin's reaction when he gets here. Mate, you lost the race.
I lost the race, yes.
The whole way in I was like, I think I'll beat him here.
You think you beat him? Yeah.
I was like, he doesn't know it's a race, but it's a race.
Yeah. I was racing round for William. Most of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, here we have a Brad Kane pizza cod.
Forgive me, I forgot the garnish.
Oh, freshly cooked, and it's just about to be freshly garnished.
There you go.
So, as you all know from my cycling footage, I did hope Brad would cook me a bit of fish, and he has followed through.
That's the better garnish thing.
Brad, thank you very much. When was the last time you cooked cod?
It wasn't that long ago. This is a dish I've been perfecting over the last few weeks. Not necessarily you coming, but since you're here. Cheers, guys.
That's it. Chin chin. Bon appetit.
Cheers.